Hello and welcome to today's show. Hopefully it'll be a fun and interesting one. We have Unholy Mole for a repeat offender today, and we have a new face to look at. Hello, Cognitive Thought.
Dude, good to see you, Numbskull.
How you doing, Unholy Mole?
I'm well, thank you. And you?
I'm not doing too bad. I also want to take a moment and say hello to everybody in chat. We got Data, who again was one of the first ones here to hang out with the bots. Lenska's in here. We got Shivers. We got Red and Only joining us today. How are you doing? We've got Bullwinkle in the chat again. We got our regular Trez happening out there. Anybody else that shows up, hello to you too. Let us go ahead and show Cog what this fun game board looks like.
Okay.
Welcome to the Great Debate.
All right, so for a quick rundown, because Cog was wondering, hasn't been here, this is the Great Debate, and I have 18 topics on the board in 3 categories, though they don't always fall into those categories, so be warned. Underneath each topic, there is a phrase, a sentence, or a question, a comment, something to begin a conversation about that topic. And then you just offer your perspective, how you see things, why you see things those ways, possibly even offering another way you've heard it, just to open up the conversation about that topic.
Okay.
Well, since you're new, why don't I go ahead and let you pick the first one?
I'll do the what the fuck off for the win.
That would have been my choice too.
When we meet alien life forms, how similar or different will they be to ourselves?
Okay. I think that our alien life forms will be very different from us massively. The reasons why would be if you have to travel across long distances of the universe to get to the Earth, you'd have to be 2 types of species. So you'd either be one, which is a hibernating species, which means you would have been around for billions of years and stuff to create these ships and stuff to travel across long distances. And you also hibernate, which is kind of a crazy one. And the other one would possibly be a jellyfish type, as jellyfish are the only types of creatures that are theoretically able to travel at light speed. So I think they'd be quite different from us. Yeah.
What? You just blew my mind there. A couple of thoughts I'd never even had about that is different types of species based on the conditions that they'd be exposed to, not by the evolution they'd have to undergo to be able to be capable of space travel.
Yeah, well, we have to, if we're meeting alien life forms, if they're coming to us, obviously, that's if we meet them and they're coming to us.
Okay.
Because they'd have to travel that distance. If we were going to travel to a planet that's vast with life or has all the resources like ours, to have the chemical balance and stuff, the right G's and stuff like that, the right oxygen level, nitrogen level, and stuff like that, it's light years away. We can't travel that far. We'd be dead by the time we get there. So we'd have to go into a stasis, which is something that's being worked on, which is going to be hard because it's a hibernation thing for humans, which we don't do naturally. We don't do that. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mold, you got any thoughts in here?
That's a really good way to look at it. I'll agree with him. I don't think that they would necessarily be humanoid in form, because if they're light years away, that doesn't mean they evolved the same way as us. They wouldn't be bipedal necessarily. Jellyfish that's a weird way to look at it. That's good.
Theoretically, they can travel at the speed of light, so that's only that's how you travel the distance in a short space of time. But if we're talking a long period of time, I'd assume the hibernating species.
Right. Are you saying the light speed thing is because their bodies can handle the light speed travel and ours wouldn't be able to? Maybe?
Ours can't. Ours would be destroyed unless we have all. The only way that we'd be able to do it is if we've created synthetic gravity, which again is only a theory right now. Gravity. So to actually create synthetic gravity is a tough one for any species, I think.
Unless they've discussed the graviton in quotations, of course, a few times.
Yeah.
I've never looked at jellyfish. I always just assumed a species would have to have some sort of the near capabilities as humans do. The ability to manipulate, the dexterity, the ability to build, the strength to be able to do things. I just assume through time and manipulation, our bodies will become stronger and our skin will become more adaptable to conditions that space and what is entailed in it provides. The radiation, the loss of gravity, through time and being exposed to these conditions, we will evolve. So, in my mind, when I created this question, I was thinking, do we think a species will evolve from what type? Will they still be hairy ape type creatures? Will they be like, dexterous sloths or something? I never thought hibernating or jellyfish. I was thinking what sort of adaptation.
The difference from getting point A to point B, them meeting us or us meeting them, it's either us taking a sweet amount of time, and we already know our capabilities, so we have to look at theirs. Our capabilities is it'll take a sweet amount of time. We're not a hibernating species. None of that exists right now. Whereas if we're looking theoretically at the other species and how they could get to us, two types exist, which is hibernating over long periods of time, which is why they can travel the distance, or they can travel at the speed of light, which means a jellyfish type structure, which is Arrival has this as well, which is why they're squid aliens, and I like that in the new Arrival film. They're squids because that makes a lot of sense theoretically.
So what is it about the jellyfish or the squid that would give them the ability to travel at light speed?
Right, okay. So they don't have bones, and they're essentially just water. So traveling at the speed of light is not going to destroy them. Like if you traveled at the speed of light, your lungs and everything would just push backwards into the chair. You just become you become liquid. That's the whole point. They're essentially water. They'd be able to. It's only theoretical or hypothetical that they can do this, whatever it is. But they're the only species that's seen to possibly be able to do this. Obviously, we've not sent anything at the speed of light yet, but you'd want a structure like that.
That makes sense. And jellyfish are already in a state of perpetual anti-gravity. I mean, they're in the ocean, so they don't have the gravity.
Oh, exactly. They don't have the. We have to work out when we're on ships and stuff, so we can keep our muscle and tone structure. That's just what we are. So.
That's very interesting. Wow. Boy, am I glad I've been inviting you on this show, offering some new perspective I'm not even thinking of. That's what I wanted. Unholy Mole, would you do us the honor of picking the next topic?
Why, surely. Let's go with video games.
My damn spell check. Gamers develop almost obsessions with the equipment they have. How important can audio be to a gamer?
Well, I would say that it makes it a more immersive experience. And with games now where you have, open level maps where things can come at you from all directions, it gives you the sensation of being in place there. So you can hear, from behind you or in front of you to the side of you. I mean, that's just one way to look at it. I mean, can you think of any other ways that it might be that way?
The game develops develop almost obsessions with the equipment they have. How important can audio be to a gamer? Hugely important. So, example, if you take audio out of your game, if you ever actually played a game and turned all your audio off, some people do it with just playing music and stuff like that. You can use your visuals and stuff, but I think audio is very key. Like you have footsteps in games where you can hear people behind you. You can hear swords clanging together with if I'm playing For Honor for the last couple of days, you can usually hear the swords clanging from a while, and it's all right, he's over there. But again, you can also look at your map and you'll see him on a radar. So is the audio important? I think with the amount of people that play music nowadays while they're also listening to games, like really heavy metal stuff or whatever, and possibly not that hugely important. But if it's going to be a game that you're developing, you're not going to sell your game, are you, if it hasn't got audio in it?
Yeah. I have a whole bunch of software on my computer. All of it does different crap, but you know how it is when you're trying to YouTube and get good audio going across your streams. You really want to look at everything you're using and get, the best you can going. And I've got some Razer software on here that matches up with some other stuff that I have equipment-wise. And it downloaded a new audio spectrum thing that takes standard headphones and gives them an almost equal sound as if you bought a nice $100 pair of gaming headphones. So I had to sit there for a half an hour and go through this audio sequence that went through and tested my speakers and where I heard the noises. And then by the time it was done, you click this little play button and it moves this audio through your speakers to make it sound like it's going around your head and asks how close it is. And I was like, that is cool. These are just cheap speakers and they sound like I can identify forward left and forward right and rear left and rear right in the audio. I can identify right behind me and right in front of me in the audio with a cheap set of headphones.
I know, but if this is applied to all gamers, I know a lot of gamers who will sit there chatting to their friends on headsets, or they'll sat there with music on, and they can play. You can completely play a game without actually having the sound. So to say that a gamer develops an almost obsession with the equipment they have, I don't have an obsession with the sound. I'm using some fucking crappy Samsung headphones that I got for like a $5 online or something. That I use these for everything, recording, for gaming, for listening to you right now. It depends what you mean by equipment, though, because like some people will get obsessed about the controller that they're using and stuff like that, or the mouse or the keyboard and stuff like that. But this one, if this is obviously how important can audio be, and that's what we're focusing on, then I don't think it's massively important in comparison to other things. I'd rather have a controller that's taking my input in quicker than my sound is coming back to me. I can put music on or talk to people, and I usually turn down my sound as well. So
yeah, and I don't know about other people, but I'll sit and turn 2 or 3 things on at a time and listen to them and just kind of pay attention back and forth.
Exactly.
Don't take this as this is a very specific question, Cog, but I've covered game controllers before, whether it's better to use a corded or a cordless, and you know why some
corded is always best. Corded is always best.
Right. And
I know why cordless is good, but corded, if you want if you want it to be quicker on your uptake of input, corded. That's why mine's always corded, even though I can use my Bluetooth on my laptop. I don't, because it takes time.
Yeah, and that's what I
said. Oh, right. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Mo.
Oh, I was just going to say the corded thing, because you know it takes a little bit of time, not much, but it does take time for it to.
It's only like a few. It's milliseconds, but it's.
But that can matter.
If you're in a game, that matters.
Yep.
Yeah, and we're in the easy category under video games, and there's only so much. Topics are going to start changing on my board soon, but it's one of those things that when you sit and think about what you need for stuff, do you always think about the audio? How important is it? And are there people that obsess over it? Again, just something to toss out there and talk about in the video game department.
Likes it. I like it.
All right, here we are. We got 16 left on the board. And I don't know if in the chat you can see this or if you're following live, but the lower right-hand corner of the category is sex.
Oh, is it my choice to pick, or do you want to pick that one? It is
on you. No, I programmed the board. I invite the guests to go through it.
That's fair enough. I think the chat's going to go crazy if I don't pick sex now. I was looking at virtual reality because I was thinking maybe we could look at, like Andy's VR sex, but let's just go to sex as we just in games.
Sex it is.
Let's have a look.
Oh, you're going to get close. Is masturbating actually bad for you in a small degree over a long period of time? Or is that a fallacy?
Is masturbating actually bad for you in a small degree over a long period of time? Doesn't this affect the... I know people go like, oh, if you keep wanking, you go blind. And I know like if you're really, really tired and stuff, you can feel that stress on your eyes if you're having a wank. You definitely can. So I'd like to say that maybe it has a small degree of damage to your eyes over a long period of time, possibly.
Unholy Mold, do you want to throw yours in on this?
I would have to say it depends on how much you masturbate. I mean, are you a fucking madman? Just like, did you just do a bunch of speed and you've been spanking for 12 hours, or is it just something you do daily? I mean,
is it saying that it's bad for you in a small degree, as in it's bad for you in a small degree, or is it over a long period of time, or is that saying that you masturbate a small amount over a long period of time, or you masturbate like all the time over a long period of time? Or?
So I vaguely remember some of this because I don't have the page open. If you consistently masturbate on a regular basis, it does have a small degree of negative effect on you over a long period of time. Some of the effect is irreversible. Some of the effect is not. The
eyes. Are the eyes included?
The eyes are included. They are a permanent negative effect. However, it is not that you will go blind. What it is
Oh no,
there's
it stresses your eyes out.
nope. It is
Oh.
that it's something about the consumption of the proteins in your eyes.
All right.
Your eyes do not replenish. Whatever you're born with as the fluid in your eyes is the fluid you will always have. Okay?
Right.
It doesn't clean itself or anything. It stays exactly where it is. It sits. Apparently, something about masturbation and the chemicals released that are separate from masturbation to
Sex.
actually having sex. The difference in the chemicals that's released is something that does something to the proteins in your eyes. So yeah, if you sat there all day while you were awake and jerked off, and that's all you did all day long, you might just go blind.
You'd have a sore Peter too, not to mention.
Yes, and that's one of the other adverse effects is masturbation actually does lower your sex drive, among other things. Could the two of you converse for just a moment? I apparently have a guest.
Sure.
Okay.
What are we gonna talk about?
I just find that very strange that masturbating would lower your sex drive. That's crazy from my point of view. I know I've got a high sex drive. I know that I see it as more as like practice. Do you know what I mean? Like so that you can go several times in a night with a girl. Why the fuck not? Like I just don't get it. Like it's like me with my fiance. It just doesn't make any sense to me. That the whole point is that it's like practice. So. Like I don't know. Like I don't want to talk too much about myself on this, and this is the worst.
That's fine. Let's just. Sorry about that. My aunt didn't know I was live. She was dropping off.
I was gonna say, like maybe it's psychologically damning to your sex drive because maybe you're more focused on a fantasy and something you can't have rather than an actual, a woman. Maybe that's what it means.
What if you've got a woman? What if you've got a woman that you can do that with?
Apparently, all right. So there's a condition you probably know about this, Kyle. You can't tickle yourself.
Right.
Okay, so I want you to think about that. When you apply pain to yourself, when you try to tickle yourself, when you do something to yourself, the feeling is different than when somebody else is involved in doing
Define tickle yourself, though. I mean, if I throw
it is a mental thing. Okay, so just like the proteins that build in your eyes, once you get accustomed to something, once you understand what that is, you don't feel it the same. Your brain interprets it differently. So when you try to tickle yourself or do something to yourself, your brain interprets it one way, but when somebody else applies the action, your brain interprets it differently because you're not the one causing the effect.
Right.
Okay. Think about it this way, and I didn't get this in depth and keep researching this, but other people feel free. But if you're going to sit and do this to yourself, it takes a bit more effort to make yourself enjoy it. While you do know what you're doing and can feel everything, it takes a bit more effort on your part to try to get to where you're going. But if you have somebody there, it takes less effort on your part and you're more enjoying it, more relaxed and into it.
I think
different chemicals might be released.
I get what you mean now. When I said I thought because obviously you can stroke your arm and feel a tingle or something, but it's not the same as actually being tickled. I get what you mean, yeah.
Right, and that's literally just the effect of your brain interpreting it differently because of how because you're not doing it.
What if you lean on your arm until it goes dead and asleep, and then you stroke yourself with it?
Your brain is still causing the effect.
I know. I'm joking.
But yeah, there's that. Okay, it feels like I'm not doing it, but you're trying to.
What if I numbed my skull? Way. And I skull myself.
Hey, what if you had a numbskull?
And then you skull. Yeah.
Oh.
That's how you get
it. You got to think about this differently. Jerking off once in a while or with your partner, you doing it is not negative. It's the cumulative effect of you continuing to do it, causing your own pleasure, your own gratification. You're obviously pushing your blood supply to do that. Your
Yeah, I don't see the point in that. Like, I'll just do it with if like with the missus, or if I'm actually with her, obviously we'll just fucking shit like that. Just
hey,
yeah.
I'm not against masturbating. Every once in a while, the wife just I'm not interested, but I'll watch. I'll help you. I'll
Yeah.
rub your
Oh,
balls and
if I was with my missus, I'd just every moment of the day it'd just be she's interested. Trust me.
trust me, they
I
get
ought to be young.
sore.
I'm sure she will, but I'm sure I will as well, and then we'll just sit down and have some like eggs and bacon and shit, and
Right.
replenish that protein.
Yes, very important to replenish your protein.
Electrolytes, man, they're important.
Fresh fruit is always good. We will remind our
Get some of that
viewers.
Powerade.
School, I suppose, sir. School.
School it is. Should students be given more opportunity to even... Yeah, let me start over. Let me read that and then try to read it aloud. Should students be given more opportunity or even an obligation to work or interact in their community in their teenage years?
Absolutely. I think it creates the sense of community. I mean, it gives them a kind of a glimpse into the future, what they're going to have to do as adults to have a strong community and a strong sense of community. So I think it wouldn't hurt at all. I don't know about an obligation, but an opportunity, very much so. Yes.
I work on the basis of why don't kids have the opportunity? The thing is I don't agree with an obligation to do this. Obviously, it's retarded because I don't think you should be it's mandatory. You've got mandatory playtime. No, it's ridiculous. But this opportunity, kids have got the opportunity. The reason why they don't go outside now is because there's games inside, there's TVs inside, and because there's pedophiles outside. Because the news on TV at home is constantly telling you about. However, if you've got a lot of kids in like a small cul-de-sac or some shit like that, you'll usually see all the kids know each other from each one's houses, and they'll go out on the bikes and stuff like that. They'll build tree houses, they'll go into the fields and shit. Like, they'll just I used to build fires and shit like that near the cul-de-sac near me. It's one of those things. It completely depends on where you are. If you're living in like a city or something, you're just going to be like, stay indoors, playing your games or whatever. It's probably not best to go outside because of the fucking, but you'll still see kids out at summertime playing together. But they're usually close to the homes that they're at, and it's just to do with this obvious this obvious worry that parents are going to have now because of all these films, these news reports of kids going missing and shit like that. It's constant. It's in the news. It's not like you have it's not like you have like a lovely story on the news one day that's just like hey, pedophile didn't catch the kids today. So it's always the kids that have, and this is the thing, is that you're always going to worry about your kids, and it's totally natural for that to be a thing. I'm not going to say that that's not natural. I've been exactly the same. But especially depending on where you live, whatever the statistics are in that area as well for this happening. But it's going to be different, obviously, depending on where you are. That's kind of the point I'm making. But opportunity, kids have the opportunity to go out. They really do, I think. The only way that it works in cities, though, and I think this might be talking about, is like out of school projects where it's like, oh yeah, come down here, you can learn how to break dance or some shit like that, and then kids can turn up and break dance.
Some areas have the I don't know what you have out in Britain that would be equal, but we have community projects like 4-H and COA, the Children of America. Not maybe that's the wrong name of it. There's organizations that spend time trying to get community members to participate in local garden growing or local community events for socialization. They try to encourage socialization by creating these community events. And a lot of people don't participate in them. Like you said, they're sitting indoors. Some communities have community trash pickup programs where you can go volunteer to help pick up and clean up your area. And a lot of kids don't participate in this. And then they grow up not having a sense or care of what's going on around them. And it could be partially impacted if we could get them to participate more in what's going on around them and develop an interaction with the community they live in, so they don't feel so closed off and they have a little more pride for the area they live in. I agree, it might not necessarily need to be forced, but it would be nice if maybe in high school they made a class where you could earn a higher grade or a way you could get extra credit or give incentive for kids to want.
You just told me that there are these several projects that at least you know of. I don't really know about them in the UK. I'm sure there are loads of different projects when you go to the council or whatever. Because I saw a load of kids walking on the road with like high vis jackets, probably making people aware of not walking and not, driving. Like we have a lot of like kids walking to school projects where kids will in the morning on the way to school, they'll have like a thing where people will knock on and go, okay, but and instead of take the bus, they'll all walk to school that day. So it's exercise for the kids. They're all there with a load of teachers that are walking them there. And that's their thing, is that they get to walk and they see all the friends and stuff, and they're just walking there. They cross over the road, lollipop ladies there, yeah, everyone go to school and stuff, and you just, and there's teachers at the back, teachers at the front, and that's it. And they get to walk through the town and see everything that's going on. But they don't have the parents around; they're just with the friends and stuff like that sort of thing. But they're in a line; they're just walking from one place to another. So it's almost like it is just like a commute and stuff like that. You get that with like school buses as well, but I think this is more better. But it's better for the kids to get the exercise. You can look at a line of kids and see if they're falling out of line, if someone's being bullied. You can't really see that on a bus where someone's being punched behind a chair or some shit like that.
Right.
Like it's there's little things that I think are benefits, and we do have projects like that. But again, that just shows that there is this opportunity as well. We have like different projects where you can sign up to dance classes or whatever, and different things for kids, or they can learn how to do art, or they can learn how to do anything they really want. I'm pretty sure we have these sort of courses for kids, and they have the opportunity. Kids would just rather go home and play Xbox or PlayStation, and I don't blame them. Like, I just want to go home and watch some TV and shit. Yeah, fair enough. That's your life. Yeah.
I also have to add that I think that it would give them an opportunity to meet people that are different than them, and maybe that would cut down on this.
I think online gaming gives you a chance to meet people differently from you, but you have this level of we can play games together. Do you know what I mean? There's like a connection. Yeah, across that.
Right. Totally good. I'm just saying that it might cut down on this sense of self-entitlement that the younger generation has today, where like they click up with their little group and they won't cross the boundaries, and I think that's what causes a lot of the issues today.
Yeah, I see what you mean. The entitlement is annoying, but I think that comes down to how kids are brought up. I think when you're there going, hey, let's make sure you've got a DS for your second birthday or some shit like that, and it's just like, what the fuck? Like, and it's just like, let's make sure that we've got you. Let's make sure we've got you. It's your third birthday. Let's make sure you've got a mobile phone with credit and stuff, so you can contact people. What the fuck? Like, and there are these people that just give their kids everything, and there's no sense of control. It's like, oh well, they've got a laptop at school. What happened to just like, so what?
Right.
My parents were like, when I grew up, and it was just like, well, that person's got these trainers, and it's like, so have you got a pair of trainers? Yeah, but they've got the Nike ones. Who fucking cares? That's what you just got used to. And I just thought, yeah, you've got to concede to that fact of, yeah, my shoes do the job. They get me from A to B. Like, I can't really ever go. But then obviously all the kids at school would be like, oh, that's not the cool make or whatever. And you have to just grow out of that. And I think that's a real thing that kids don't have nowadays. Kids are just like, oh, I've also got my iPhone. And they don't have a sense of individuality anymore. They've got this sense of I'm the same.
More integrity.
Yeah, and you're going to get these kids who may go and shoot up a school because like people are bullying me because I'm different. Well, I'm going to show my different. You get these crazies like this, and then you'll get the ones that go, you know what, I am different. I'm happy to be different. Fuck you all.
Right.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's what I was like. I'm different. I'm happy to be different. Nobody else is like me.
Oh, same.
The problem
I just embraced my weirdness.
Exactly. Yeah. That's how it should be.
The problem is that people don't have care for the area around them. Would we have this is a far-reaching part of this question, but would we have Antifa and other groups destroying so much stuff if they realized and were a part of a community that actually put some of that stuff together? Even if it was for a small time in school, maybe a couple of weeks of a term of a class, that class's job was to go outside and clean up the grounds just outside the school, to go pick up trash or to trim the bushes or something stupid. Just something to get people wanting to participate, or get them to try and actively participate and understand some of what it is that goes on around them.
That's what I'm saying. You cut down on the inclusiveness, and it would, there would still be groups like that, I'm sure, but they wouldn't be as widespread or as prevalent as they are now. In my opinion, I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong, but it seems logical to assume that it would be that way.
Yeah.
Also, I want to comment, Red, if you want to be mean to the Nightbot, there's eggplant punch, the eggplant emoji, punch emoji. There's also fuck you Nightbot and fuck you Nightbot, where Nightbot's 2 words. They all have responses. Have at him.
There you go.
I try to keep the chat fun. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on in there. They're robbing a bank,
What's
I
this?
think.
What's the bone heist? Are people stealing bones? What's going on
They're
there?
trying to rob the bone jar. Yeah, there's
Tim
bone
saying,
banks they
dare
can
to be
steal
different.
from.
I dare to be different.
I try to make the chat appealing. Sometimes this stuff gets interesting and fun. Sometimes it's like, okay, well, that's cool. You guys are going off. I'm a hair bit bored. I'm going to gamble it for a minute.
Yeah.
Gotta keep people entertained. My chats are mildly small. There's a lot of bot interaction.
Should I be paying attention to the time's up thing, or should I just not pay attention to that? Because every time I see it, I'm like, I'll shut up now.
I took the timer off. It's just a general thing. 5 minutes for some topics is a long time. For other topics, it kind of limits you.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. I try to play it by topic, and we're way ahead of how I usually try to run it. I'm glad to have you, but you talk so fast. We're running right through these topics.
Sorry.
How do you like it though? It's a different way to do it.
I'm enjoying it, yeah, because it gives you it gives you subjects to just have a little bit of a discussion on for a moment. It's nice.
Yeah, and it's not. I don't try to push anything in anybody. I'm not trying to goal at anything in specific. I'm just trying to start these conversations. And again, I encourage people to take something on this board and go do something else with it. And, just link me so I can go watch it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think we are back to Cog.
And I'm just... What the fuck is that?
Welcome.
Pink Floyd in the background.
All right.
Way to the Twilight has just subscribed.
I'm so much choice. Let's go for creator tips. I want to see what this is.
Different stuff every show. How important is it to be on more than one platform? What are the benefits and problems with multiple platforms?
Ooh.
You want to go for this one first, my holy moly? Go
ahead, man.
Do you want to go for it?
No, go for it. You pick the topic.
All right, no worries. How important is it to be more than one platform? It is important because if one platform goes down, you're going to get fucked. What are the benefits of being on several platforms? Well, if you, like I said, your shit goes down and you get fucked, you can at least go to the other platform and explain to anyone who's following you over there what the fuck's going on. And the problems with multiple platforms. The only problem with multiple platforms is that you end up having the majority of your platforms just become places that you post stuff for the time being until shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do you mean like different platforms like Twitter, YouTube, that kind of platform?
Yeah.
Okay,
there's all sorts of different ways you can think about it. However you see it, explain that.
Yeah. I think. One of the benefits of being on more than one platform is, I would say, networking, getting to know other people, growing your channel if you have a YouTube channel, because a lot of people they'll start channels just to watch other people, and then they'll slowly be like, oh, I want to do this, so they start networking. I meet this guy, he introduces me to this guy, he introduces me to that guy, and that grows your channel. So that would be one of the benefits. Now, one of the problems would be is there's a lot of, if you got multiple levels of bullshit to deal with on multiple platforms, you can get into a Twitter war with someone, or, so that would be the only downfall I could see to having multiple platforms, is spreading yourself too thin and starting shit with a bunch of people, maybe. Okay. Other than that, I don't really know.
It was hard for me. So I've been on YouTube for almost a year now, like a couple weeks away, actually. And when I started, one of my thoughts, trying to be very smart about what I did, I went through all the social media sites that everybody else mentioned, was on, were listed, were easy to link with. I went through every single one and created a profile under the NumbedSkull. And I locked my name in on every one. I've got links to all of them so that I'm everywhere at once, and if people search my name, you're going to come up with one way to find me. So that was my thoughts. The more places I put myself, the easier I am to search as my stuff gets out there. One of the big problems I do notice with that is on my tabs across the top of my URL, I've got 20 of them up there and another 50 of them down a list. Not all of them are social media, but just looking, there's YouTube, Twitter, Maker Support, Gap, Minds, Patreon, Facebook, BitChute, Google Plus, Twitch, Streamlabs, Instagram, Reddit, Restream, 4chan, Yahoo, LinkedIn, Xstream. I mean, and it just keeps going. I haven't checked some of these in a month, by the way. And that's where the problem comes in, is there's so much, it gets hard to keep up with things, because you get on a project and you go, oh, I got this video posted, I got something else to work on, hey, this stream is done, but I got some ideas I'm going to change. And
It is.
when did I last look at my Twitch account? It was, Thursday. I think I was on 4chan 2 months ago. I was on Reddit a couple weeks back. I don't keep up with it all.
Networking is a full-time job. It's essentially like it's essentially just like you're not working for anything off YouTube really. You're not making much unless people donate in super chats, and that's only if you've got the monetization up and all that sort of bullshit that you've got to get done. It's ridiculous.
I mean, it has to be a project of love, or else what's the point in doing it? I mean, unless you got like 1 million subs. I mean,
well, it doesn't. The thing that I like about YouTube, and if you've got your network and stuff, is the fact that you can always make a Streamlabs, and Streamlabs is the key now, I'd say. Because if you're a YouTuber and you want to do anything, and people really want to support you, and you have a Streamlabs, then people can still go on there and send you a donation on there, which will allow you to will help with your channel. Patreon is the same. Patreon's a way that people will donate, because a lot of people are just like, no, fuck YouTube. People who use YouTube Red though, they're also great, because obviously if you have those subscribers from YouTube Red, then you will have money coming from that, because they're constantly paying to use YouTube. So,
right.
And if they're going to use your channel as well, then you get thrown on the pile. But it's like if it depends on what videos they view, how long for, and blah blah blah. It's all got to take into account. But the main thing comes from, on mine personally, comes from Super Chat and Streamlabs. It does. It's trying to become Twitch YouTube. I don't think that's the thing, is that you get these platforms that are just like, are you going to be on Twitch more? You're going to be on YouTube more. Twitch, you can't even talk about other Twitch users. What's the fucking point? Some guy's being a dick to you, and I can't even mention that. Fuck that fucking platform.
Right.
Yeah, I don't get that.
My fear with double streaming is too much swearing or something, and somebody going, oh, they're not monitoring or paying attention. The chat is, telling Nightbot to kill itself over and over again, and all this other stuff might get me kicked for stupid, fun games that I play.
You could.
And that worries me with Twitch.
Is Streamlabs a streaming platform?
You can't. Well, Streamlabs is becoming a really, really nice place to go. Streamlabs has its own OBS. Because of the way I run my show, cannot use the Streamlabs OBS. It causes problems on my end with making the screen flow properly, keeping my audio all running properly and everything. The Streamlabs OBS doesn't work great. However, they do have a new chat bot, which is helping me out in the chat there. And they have a Stream Labels app, which allows me to keep up with who's subscribing, so I don't have to keep looking all over the place for everything. So they do have a lot of cool features. The gravestone that popped up there when I had the subscriber, when Way to the Twilight subscribed, that's Streamlabs. I created a GIF, I got an audio clip, and I went into Streamlabs and said, when somebody subscribes, this is what I want to happen. Streamlabs gives me a URL, I put it back into my OBS, and it plays that for me. I don't have to work on that. And I'm sure, Kyle, you have some of those set up too, don't you? You're just starting to play with the GIFs and the setups.
Oh yeah. Like I had some yesterday for if people donated on the Streamlabs and stuff like that. It's great to set up your different GIFs and stuff for it. It's just I go on there and I set it up. So if it's my tinfoil hat time, I'll put on some conspiracy looking ones. If it's gaming, I'll put on whatever the game is. I usually just find some GIFs, download them off Google, and then upload it for the thing. Just find some cool ones. So it's like I was playing For Honor yesterday. People donated, and then you see a guy do like a finishing move or whatever on it. So.
Yeah. That's cool. And is Streamlabs better for donations because they don't take a percentage like a
Streamlabs
they do take some
transaction fee.
They do take some.
But it's a standard shit that you're going to get if it got anything that you get from PayPal. It's like $1 off. Like, it's not like Super Chat will take 30%. Okay,
Yes.
so, and if it's $100 donation, it's 40%.
$30.
They're going to take
Oh,
it's
wow.
$40. Yeah, it goes up to 40% if it's over 100. I don't know if that then goes up if it gets to 500. I have no idea. But if they get $100 donation, it takes 40%. So $40 goes straight to YouTube from that $100, right?
And do they
Whereas if
tax
they send that,
Super Chat
if
on top of the,
oh, yeah, on top of that, I think it does and shit like that. Yeah, but what I'm saying is with the money that comes through from Patreon. Okay, no, sorry, not Patreon. Sorry, from Streamlabs, the money will go straight through. So it's like they'll send that donation to you of $100 or whatever, and then it'll take off and you'll probably get about $98 or something like that. But then I have to have the exchange. The obviously, I then have to exchange rate it to the UK, and then that'll drop down to about £70 or something.
Sorry.
It's all right. I'll be moving there soon.
I've actually tried to be really creative. There's a couple of GIFs I have on Streamlabs, and I've actually gone through and created them myself. That coffin, I made the coffin and made my skull pop out of it. And if you type in social media, if you type in tweet, you'll get my Twitter. If you type in Discord, you'll get invalid links. I'm sorry. I'm working on something right now. If you type in Streamlabs, you'll get my Streamlabs link. If you type in Gab, you'll get my Gab link. If you donate money, I have these coins that fall. And like every 5th coin that falls is a Mario coin. It's, I had some fun. I created them myself just because I'd rather create something myself if I can. Which is why the only thing I usually search for is music. But the Streamlabs definitely does offer a lot of cool stuff if you get in and play with it. And some of it doesn't always work right. That has to be said.
Apparently, there's a movement in the Kumite chat for me to replace JF. Will you save Warski Live?
Yeah, I was watching the Kumite
Sure.
up until the show.
I don't know. I'm not even watching it. Apparently there is. What's that? What?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That
What's
puts
going
us
on?
back to Mole.
alrighty then. Let's go with television.
Television. What is the importance of interweaving television shows with one another?
I don't know, continuity. I really don't. That's kind of an ambiguous question. I don't really see any importance in interweaving television shows. I don't watch television, so maybe that's why. But continuity would be the only thing I can think of.
Cog?
Yep.
What do you think? Have you seen some of the shows that they've interwoven? They've done it for years, but have you seen the type of network shows?
Sorry, network. Like, do you mean like when they interweave like Marvel stuff and shit like that?
Yeah, Marvel's the easiest one to call up, but it's been done for years where one guest from one
DC
show will
does it as
show
well.
up on another, and some kid
do
from
you mean
this
like
school will show up in this office or something like that?
Like Vampire Diaries, and there's another one that clashes with it or some shit. I know someone who used to watch like Vampire Diaries, and there was another one that was called The Originals or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, you get these shows that cross back and forth. A couple characters will go from here to there.
What's the importance of doing that? I think the only importance is, haha, now you're gonna have to watch this show because we're gonna have a crossover episode. Fuck you. And now you're gonna have to, and to get what's going on for you to get to that point to watch that, you're gonna have to watch their show. That's why they fucking made Supergirl forced as fuck. And that's why I stopped watching a lot of this shit. I watched The Flash, and when it gets to those crossover episodes, I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't watch The Arrow. I'm bored by it. I'm just so dark. Okay, Arrow, go away.
We get it, Ollie. We get it.
I've always got to be miserable. We get it.
It was good for season 1. Season 2 started to lose me. I don't even think I watched season 3.
Season 1 was great because of how it ended. That's why.
Yeah. And I just finally watched the new Justice League movie. And at the end of it, Lex Luthor gets together with the guy who trained Arrow. Well, not the same guy from the television shows, obviously, but the guy who trained Arrow.
In the comics, you mean?
Yeah. The one with the split mask and the 2 swords. What was his name?
Okay.
Not Dreadnought. He had 2 different names, and I can't think of either of them.
Is he also an arrow shooter kind of guy? Is he
Yeah, he's against Arrow. No, he's the one who trained Arrow. He trained some of what he knows, his fighting skills and stuff, but now they're rivals. I'm not a huge comic book guy, so I can't remember his name, but I do know a bit about Deathstroke. Thank you, Deathstroke. That was one of his names. He has another one, Slade Wilson, Mr. Wilson.
Yeah,
Mr. Wilson.
Thank you, chat, for helping me. But yeah, I think what it is it tries to draw attention to another show. Now, you can almost correlate this to some of what's being done on YouTube. I mean, if you want to see Andy literally on Kumite today admitted to something like this, that he literally spends part of his day trying to get on other shows just so he can bring up his show to bring attention back over to his channel. That would basically be the same thing. You're trying to get yourself on somebody else's show so that they go, oh, that guy's cool. I want to go check out his show.
So exposure is what you're saying?
Yeah. Trying to get somebody to see that there's something else, because you kind of get dead stuck. You know, you almost get tunnel vision sometimes for a little while when creators do their thing and do streams and you don't see new people for a couple weeks. The same people keep having the same conversations, or the same people different conversations, and then you get kind of stale to it. You get exposed to nothing new for a while, and sometimes that new thing is like, oh cool, I'm gonna start watching that because that's fresh.
Fresh and fun to be around.
So fresh and so clean.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and again, we're in the easy category, mild topic to talk about. I've seen a lot of shows, especially on the CW.
I don't think it's important. I think it's forced. I don't think it's important at all. I don't think you should have to cross them over. I think it's because they go, oh look, we've got fans from here and fans from here. It's like if the Walking. Imagine if The Walking Dead suddenly had some sort of crossover program, and I'm not talking. They have a prequel thing, either the Starting Dead or whatever the fuck it's called.
You mean something totally off topic from The Walking Dead?
Exactly, but The Walking Dead. Imagine if there was another one, like and you were just like, oh god, the actors are awful, and crossover. No, don't.
Hey, you never know.
Sitcom.
You never know. Maybe you're stuck. Maybe you're stuck watching Supergirl. And then you were exposed to The Flash because of the crossover, and you went, you know what, fuck Supergirl, I'm going to go watch The Flash.
If you watched Supergirl and enjoyed it, why? You've not. Why?
You had
there's nothing good about
it. They were blurry-eyed with something in your hand.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the visuals of Supergirl, but that's about it.
And she's not even that attractive. No, she's not. No, not
anybody in tights. I mean, a girl in tights, hey, whatever.
Each to their own. No, so she was just to me, she was just a moron. It was just like, oh god.
That was one I had to watch for the first season just to see how good it was. And other than the hey, look, Ally McBeal is back, the show couldn't hold my attention because shit didn't seem real. Oh,
hey guys, hey guys, how about the let's force the forced program of all. Legends of Tomorrow. That's right, guys. We're going to do the most forced fucking program for all the extras from The Flash and all the extras from fucking Arrow. Let's force them all together. Legends of Tomorrow, my dudes. That's
the one that came out in the end of 2016 or early 2017. It was so fucking bad.
It was so fucking bad.
Yeah, he came to recruit him like, oh, you guys are all going to be so very important. And it's like, wait a second. We're the ones nobody knows about.
I watched the first episode and saw bullets blow up the what's it called? The bullets blow up the actual fucking the Zephyr, the fucking Hindenburg, whatever. When it blew it up, the bullets. Yeah, we know that can't happen. We've been like the static. It was fine. Yeah. Then they used bullets to do that, and I was just like, nope. Fuck this program. This is terrible. This is awful. It's like, wait. Am I thinking about the right one? Or am I thinking about a different program now? 1 second. Hold on. Legends of Tomorrow might have been just an awful program I watched alongside something else, which was like, oh no. Sorry, ignore me. I'm thinking about another one where these people go back in time to stop things in the past or so.
Oh, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Sorry, my bad. I got confused. All I remember, Legends of Tomorrow is worse than that then, because my memory's just rejected it. There you go.
Okay, I haven't seen the Legends of Tomorrow yet. It's on my Netflix list to watch when I don't feel like it.
Legends of Tomorrow is so bad.
It's one of those things I watch them just to go, okay, so what's the storyline? What's going on? What did they fuck up? How bad is it? Maybe I'll do a video on how bad, but I just like watching things, getting through them, and moving on. I haven't even watched Netflix in a couple months. That's how bad it is.
I also get a lot of people saying to me like, and I don't care. I'm just going to say this and clearly state this right now. I don't give a fuck. I'm not watching it. Agents of Shield. Oh, it's got really good now. I don't care. I really don't care. It was abysmally shit. I tried. I watched that and I was like, oh god, this is so bad. I got about 5 episodes in. I'm like, I'm really trying, guys. Come on, 6 episodes.
I don't even know if I made it as far as you did.
Oh god, I gave up. It was so bad. It was so bad.
I let my kids watch it.
Everyone's like, oh, it's really good now. Yeah, no, but kids, that's fine. Kids like Power Rangers, which is like, remember when you like that and then you look at it and you're like, why?
Honestly, I had a problem with the Justice League that I watched. First, it's you brought Superman back to life, who was just barely more powerful than a couple of the people on the team, and now he's like 5 times as powerful. And they just made him. I understand Superman is strong.
Is this the film? Is this the film?
The
Still
film.
not seen it. Still not seen it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then I'll stop. We're gonna move on. Just
no. By all means, spoil. I don't care. I really am not going to watch that.
They
not going to watch it.
Him
not going to watch
so
it. I watched Wonder Woman.
Stupidly strong.
I watched Wonder Woman because I actually wanted to watch Wonder Woman because I really have been wanting to watch a Wonder Woman film for a good time, and it's I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching that film. Batman vs Superman, I still haven't watched. I've heard the spoilers to death to the point where I know in detail the entire layout of the story. I can tell you every problem in there. I can even say this. And as a person who's watched it, you'll sit there and go, yeah, that was a mistake as well. Like I've seen it almost in my head, and I've seen enough for like from I've literally had it spelt out to me of how bad it is that I'm not wasting my time watching it. And the Justice League, really don't fucking care. Really don't care for it, and everyone's saying it's awful as well. So I just don't care.
No, okay, don't get me wrong.
Don't care.
The movie, the premise, the story, decent for one of the DC movies, considering. But in the last one, they killed Superman.
What, that Suicide Squad exists as well. Like Suicide Squad, I was fucking abysmal as well. Like I watched that in the cinema.
I liked a few points of that one. I liked some of that.
It's not hard to go like, oh, that was a good character. Like the story and plot and everything was fucking shit.
Yeah, there was just points.
Terribly put together that film, but yeah, they picked a really good person to play Harley Quinn. Cool, yeah, she looks just like Harley Quinn. Okay, great, cool. Will Smith was fucking awesome in the film, right?
That's my favorite.
And then I look at everything else, and I'm just like, I don't care. Boomerang, actually, I did like Boomerang. I liked the cat. That's it. That was it. And then you had like, I wasn't a huge fan of fucking of Croc. I wasn't. That's the thing. There were so many that I just wasn't a fan of. I was just like, this is really piss poor writing as well.
Croc was more believable, and that's probably why it didn't fit. He didn't feel like he fit right, but he was one of the.
And I know Jared Leto is a different Joker. He's a gangster. I don't like him. I'm not a fan of that Joker. You can like him as a type of Joker, fair enough. I just didn't like him. There were things I just thought I just don't know. He seemed like just a real... I don't think
it was entirely on that. I think part of it was the writing of the movie, because certain sections were just so good that other sections were just really bland.
See, Alenska liked Suicide Squad. She thought it was funny and visually entertaining. It's abysmally shit. This is the thing, like, me and her will watch films together all the time, and she'll always point out, but like, I could watch that film with her and just go, that part's shit, and she'll just be like, oh yeah, I see I see where you're coming from. I see, and she'll know where I'm coming from when I say it, but at the same time, she'll be like, she'll put it on a Sunday, that sort of thing.
That's how I cut and run.
What film did we watch last night? We watched was it Big Trouble in Little China. Great movie. It's so fucking cheesy and funny though. She's like, yeah, you can't take it serious, and all the way through I'm like, this is proper like old school, like funny fucking sort of like terribly cheesy film sort of thing. Yeah. And I was like I was knackered. It was like fucking 10 in the morning or something for me, but I was just like, this is just so bad, but it's fucking funny. It's like it is good. Oh god!
With the Justice League, when they wrote it in the way that Superman had to defeat the character, it's like, okay, so if they didn't have Superman, there's no way they would have won. But once they had Superman, there was no need for anybody else.
Yeah, I don't like the way they muddy the plots and they stick storylines together, and it fucks up the continuity of the actual story. That's the only thing I don't like about all these newer movies. I mean, yeah, they're visually cool, but they're fucking up the storyline. And I'm kind of a purist.
I'm just not a fan of Scarface Joker. Just not a fan of him.
Yeah.
That's all he was Scarface.
So how did you like this, Cog?
What,
That's the hour. We're just finishing up now. How did you like the show?
Oh, okay. Yeah, enjoyed it. Nice conversations.
Yeah, and it moves kind of quick, but it gives you time to sit and talk about things. I want to thank everybody in chat for stopping by and joining us. I see Director Artiker popped in there. Olenska's in there playing with the bot. I'm hoping everybody has fun.
Oh, yeah? It's been a good show.
Yeah, once in a while I'll do a stream where I just sit here and add stuff to the bots by request of the chat just to make sure they have stuff they want. I do this show 5 times a week. I'm happy to have people on at any time. So if you want to join me again anytime, Cog, you're more than welcome.
Oh yeah, if I'm free and I'm not working, then yeah, definitely I can jump on. I will do a little bit of a shill, which I don't usually do on people's channels, but I have got a stream that I'm probably going to be doing soon, or maybe in a couple of hours or so. I might get something to eat first. Which is going to be the DDJ drama extravaganza. That's right, DDJ drama stream extravaganza. We're going to be having the biggest drama stream ever. Which is not really the biggest. It's just going to be, some things that we've gone over. Basically, it's just like the other ones, but we're just taking the piss for fun because it's so dramatic. It's so dramatic. It's all being drama. It's all drama when you're calling someone out on the bullshit. It always becomes drama.
Yeah, I actually did one of those last night. I got somebody in my Discord who's having his own fun, so I had mine.
I seen that.
I kind of felt like Cog for a little while there. I was like, see, here's what's going on. Here's the screenshots. Here's the information. Here's what's going on right now.
It's just people being disingenuous on the internet, and the thing is that they keep going. Like, they think if they talk about it for long, if they don't talk about it and let it go on for long enough, that people will just like, oh, people don't care. It's a 24-hour news cycle. Yeah, people are like that. But I don't give a fuck. I'm going to sit here while you sat here trying to, every time you put out a video going, oh, look how Cog's credibility has just dropped lower. And I'm just like, I can see this is projection. So I'm just going to go and do a stream going, have you seen the projection from this guy?
Right.
This is hilarious.
People don't like to be called on their bullshit. And you're not.
I'm fed up with people trying to knock my credibility while saying to me, why are you taking this so personally? It's hilarious. How dare you take it personally when I try to knock your credibility and say that what you're saying is wrong and lies and shit. Right. Hey, NumbedSkull, you've been lying throughout this show, right? But don't take that personally.
Don't worry, it's all right.
The only you have been lying. Don't take it personally. I'm joking.
The entire plot line, everything I explained, it's all a lie.
Everything. Even when I spoke in this, you were lying through me.
That's really hard to do, but I'm talented.
Meta.
And people think if they scream loud enough and long enough, you'll believe them eventually.
He's called NumbedSkull because of the drugs that he gives us before we come in. That's and then we're just under his control.
My skull's not numb enough. Hook me up.
We're just reading the side chat right now. I could prove. I'm coming out of the drugs right. I could probably prove this. I'm gonna get a screenshot before the screen ends. No, I'm joking.
But thank you so much for joining me, everybody in the chat, Cog and Unholy Mole. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Everybody make sure, I'm trying to remind myself to say something, but I can only half remember what it is. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, that share button, that thumb up button, whatever button you feel like hitting. Just start beating on things. Have a ball. We'll see you all later. Thanks for stopping. Where's all my stuff?
Adios.